The concept of reincarnation has captivated human imagination and spiritual inquiry for thousands of years. Rooted deeply in the fabric of diverse cultures and religious traditions, reincarnation proposes that life is not confined to a single existence but spans across multiple lives, each one a continuation or progression of the last. It is the idea that the essence or soul of a person does not die but instead moves from one life to another, learning, evolving and purifying along the way. This journey is marked by a sequence of births and deaths, shaped by one's actions and intentions in previous lives. Ancient Eastern philosophies such as Hinduism and Buddhism are among the earliest and most comprehensive sources on reincarnation, offering extensive teachings on how and why souls migrate across different lives and the ultimate goal of breaking free from this cycle. But reincarnation is not a belief restricted to Eastern spiritual traditions alone. Variations of the concept appear across cultures, in Egyptian mythology, Greek philosophy, indigenous spiritual practices, and even in the mystical strands of Christianity and Judaism. Each framework provides unique interpretations, but they often share common themes. The idea of a moral journey, the role of the soul in moving toward enlightenment, and the eventual goal of spiritual liberation. For Hindus, reincarnation or samsara is an essential element of the spiritual worldview. The soul, or Atman, is seen as eternal and, in its quest for liberation or moksha, must transcend countless births. Actions taken in each lifetime, known as karma, dictate the conditions and experiences of future lives. This doctrine of karma and reincarnation implies that the soul must bear the consequences of its actions across lives, facing joy, suffering and challenges in accordance with past deeds. In Hinduism, every act, thought, and intent carries a moral weight that shapes one's future. A virtuous life, characterized by selfless acts and compassion, fosters positive karma, potentially leading to a favorable rebirth or even a step closer to liberation from the cycle of rebirth itself. Conversely, negative actions generate suffering, binding the soul further to samsara. The teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, one of Hinduism's sacred texts, provide profound insights into this cosmic cycle, urging practitioners to live selflessly and detach from the fruits of their actions. This, it argues, is the path to freedom and the end of rebirth. Buddhism, emerging from the rich cultural soil of Hindu thought, also embraces the concept of reincarnation but with significant variations. The Buddha taught that life is marked by dukkha or suffering, and that the ultimate aim of the spiritual journey is to transcend this suffering by achieving enlightenment or nirvana. Unlike the Hindu Atman, Buddhism teaches that there is no permanent, unchanging self that transmigrates. Instead, the self is a collection of impermanent, interconnected components, thoughts, sensations, and consciousness, that arise and dissolve in each moment. This teaching, known as anatta or no-self, challenges the conventional notion of a soul migrating across lifetimes. Instead, what reincarnates is a chain of causes and conditions influenced by karma. When enlightenment is achieved, this chain is broken, ending the cycle of rebirth and bringing liberation from the suffering inherent in existence. The Dhammapada, a revered Buddhist text, emphasizes that one's present actions are paramount, as they determine the direction of future lives. The Buddha encourages compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom as essential qualities on the path to liberation, emphasizing that a life guided by awareness can break the endless chain of rebirth and death. Even outside of India, reincarnation has resonated with a wide range of spiritual thinkers and philosophers throughout history. Ancient Greek philosophers, including Pythagoras, Socrates, and Plato, discussed concepts akin to reincarnation. Pythagoras believed that the soul, by its nature, was bound to return to the physical world repeatedly. He taught that the soul's journey through multiple lives allowed it to purify and evolve toward a state of ultimate harmony. Plato, a student of Socrates, expanded on this by proposing that the soul originates in a realm of divine truth and knowledge. According to Plato, each soul carries a memory of this truth, but upon incarnating in a physical body, this memory becomes obscured. The purpose of philosophy, he argued, is to reawaken the soul to its divine origins and liberate it from the cycle of rebirth. This liberation, Plato suggested, comes not through religious practices but through the cultivation of virtue and wisdom, which purifies the soul and prepares it for its return to the divine realm. The ancient Egyptians, too, held complex beliefs regarding the afterlife and the soul's journey beyond death, although their views on reincarnation differ from the cyclical rebirth concept seen in Eastern traditions. They believed in multiple components of the soul, each with distinct roles in the afterlife. The Ba, a part of the soul associated with personality, was believed to journey between the physical and spiritual realms. While the Egyptians focused on the soul's journey through the afterlife rather than reincarnation in the literal sense, the underlying belief in a continuation of the soul's existence beyond physical death reflects a similar view of the soul's enduring nature. Through elaborate burial rituals and the preservation of the body, the Egyptians sought to ensure the soul's safe passage to the afterlife. Their concept of ma'at, representing cosmic order and morality, closely resembles karma in its emphasis on justice and righteous living as determinants of one's fate after death. In this sense, the Egyptians saw life as a preparation for eternity, with each individual's actions contributing to the soul's ultimate destiny. Mystical Judaism, particularly in Kabbalistic traditions, also explores the idea of reincarnation, known as Gilgul Neshamat. According to Kabbalah, the soul originates from a divine source and descends into the material world to fulfill specific spiritual missions. Each life is seen as an opportunity for the soul to rectify past wrongs and elevate itself through acts of kindness, justice, and spiritual devotion. Souls may reincarnate multiple times to complete unfinished spiritual tasks, and each reincarnation provides a unique set of circumstances designed to promote spiritual growth. Kabbalistic teachings describe a process whereby the soul, upon leaving the body, undergoes an assessment to determine whether it must return for further purification or if it is ready to reunite with the divine. In this view, reincarnation is not merely a mechanism of punishment or reward but a compassionate process through which the divine provides opportunities for spiritual refinement. In Western Christianity, reincarnation has largely been rejected, yet traces of the concept can still be found within early Christian sects and certain mystical traditions. The early Christian Gnostic texts, for instance, contain references to the soul's journey across multiple lives. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on spiritual knowledge and liberation, shares similarities with both Eastern teachings and Kabbalistic ideas. Some Gnostic groups believe that the soul, trapped within the material world, must undergo several lives to attain gnosis, or knowledge of the divine. This knowledge would eventually lead to liberation from the material plane. However, by the time Christianity became formalized, these views were deemed heretical, and reincarnation was excluded from official doctrine. Despite this, some Christian mystics, such as the medieval Cathars, revived reincarnation as a key aspect of their faith, believing that the soul must transcend the material world through multiple lives to achieve union with God. Modern spiritual movements have also contributed to the revival and reinterpretation of reincarnation. Theosophy, a spiritual movement founded in the late 19th century, combines elements from Hinduism, Buddhism, and Western esotericism, promoting the idea that reincarnation is a natural part of the soul's journey toward enlightenment. Theosophists assert that each life presents unique challenges and lessons, encouraging the soul to grow in wisdom, compassion, and strength. They emphasize that, over time, the soul evolves into a state of greater harmony with the divine, ultimately reaching a level of spiritual mastery that transcends the need for rebirth. Through meditation, study, and self-discipline, Theosophists believe one can accelerate this process, consciously directing one's spiritual evolution toward liberation. Modern interest in past life regression therapy has also grown, offering individuals the chance to explore memories of previous lives as a means of understanding current life challenges, phobias, and personal relationships. Past life therapy, although controversial, has gained popularity in some circles, as it provides an experiential way of exploring the concept of reincarnation. Those who practice it claim that insights gained from past lives can offer a sense of closure, healing, and clarity, affirming the soul's continuous journey through time. Reincarnation presents profound philosophical questions that go beyond religious dogma. It invites exploration of the nature of the self, the meaning of life, and the potential for spiritual growth across lifetimes. The concept challenges the boundaries of time and identity, proposing that who we are is not defined solely by the present but is part of an expansive continuum that stretches across multiple lives. Whether viewed as a journey toward divine reunion or as an endless cycle from which one seeks liberation, reincarnation provides a lens through which individuals can reflect on their choices, relationships, and personal growth. Through understanding reincarnation, people are encouraged to live mindfully, recognizing that each action has far-reaching consequences that extend beyond a single lifetime. In many spiritual traditions, the doctrine of reincarnation is not merely a theoretical framework but is closely linked with practical guidance on how to live a life that fosters growth and positive rebirth. The notion of karma, integral to the reincarnation cycle, suggests that every action carries a moral weight, shaping future experiences and even the conditions of one's next life. This law of cause and effect emphasizes personal responsibility and suggests that the soul is the architect of its destiny across lifetimes. For followers of Hinduism and Buddhism, cultivating compassion, non-attachment, and self-discipline are viewed as essential practices for generating positive karma and breaking the cycle of rebirth. These practices are aimed at reducing suffering, both personal and that inflicted upon others, as well as achieving greater harmony with the universe's natural laws. In Hinduism, individuals are encouraged to perform acts of dharma, righteous duty, which is believed to sustain cosmic order and contribute to a favorable rebirth. Dharma is a complex concept that varies according to one's age, family, and societal roles, but it underscores the idea that living in alignment with one's highest purpose has profound spiritual consequences. In Buddhism, ethical conduct is equally paramount, with particular emphasis on the Noble Eightfold Path as a guide to ending suffering and attaining enlightenment. This path is divided into wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. By cultivating right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, practitioners seek to purify their thoughts, words, and deeds, thereby reducing the karmic imprints that bind them to samsara. The Buddha taught that liberation from this cycle requires not only good actions but also a deep understanding of reality's true nature. Central to this understanding is the recognition of the three marks of existence: impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Through meditative practice and mindfulness, one gains insight into the illusory nature of the self, loosening the attachments that fuel the cycle of birth and death. Beyond ethical and philosophical principles, many cultures have developed rituals and ceremonies to support the journey of the soul, both during life and after death. In Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo Thodol, commonly known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is a sacred text that offers guidance to the soul as it transitions through the stages of death and rebirth. According to Tibetan Buddhist belief, after death, the soul enters a transitional state called the Bardo, which lasts for 49 days. During this period, the soul undergoes various experiences that reflect the karmic imprints from past lives. The text is recited to provide spiritual support, helping the soul navigate the Bardo's challenges and seek a favorable rebirth or even liberation. The teachings of the Bardo Thodol emphasize that one's mental state at the time of death plays a crucial role in determining the soul's next destination, which is why Tibetan Buddhist practitioners train extensively in practices to cultivate calmness, clarity, and detachment. Similar practices can be observed in Hindu traditions, where rituals for the deceased, known as shraddha, are performed to ensure a peaceful transition for the departed soul. These rituals involve offerings of food and prayers to honor ancestors, with the belief that these acts aid the soul's journey and potentially improve its next incarnation. In Hinduism, death is viewed as a natural part of life's cycle, and the rituals surrounding it are intended to celebrate and respect the soul's eternal journey. By acknowledging the interconnectedness of past, present, and future lives, these ceremonies underscore the Hindu belief in the soul's continuity and the importance of honoring those who came before. The practice of Pitru Tarpanam or ancestor worship is another way for families to express gratitude and devotion to their forebears, believed to bring blessings for both the living and the departed. Through such rituals, communities not only honor the dead but also reinforce their commitment to living a life that will leave a positive legacy for future generations. The role of memory in reincarnation is a subject of considerable debate and curiosity. While the vast majority of people do not consciously remember past lives, there are numerous documented cases of individuals, often children, who recall details of previous existences with remarkable clarity. These cases have been studied extensively, especially by researchers like Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist who dedicated decades to investigating reincarnation reports worldwide. Stevenson's research focused on children who claimed to remember specific details of past lives, including names, places, and even causes of death, which could often be verified. Although the phenomenon remains controversial, these cases challenge conventional understandings of consciousness and suggest that memories, or at least imprints, may carry over across lifetimes. The phenomenon of past life memories has also led to the development of regression therapy, a practice in which individuals, often under hypnosis, attempt to access memories of previous incarnations. While past life regression is viewed skeptically by some in the scientific community, proponents argue that exploring past life memories can provide valuable insights into present life challenges and relationships. Many who undergo regression report that understanding the context of past experiences brings a sense of closure or healing, allowing them to address unresolved issues or patterns in their current lives. For instance, some believe that phobias or unexplained physical symptoms might have roots in past life traumas. Although it is impossible to verify these experiences empirically, those who practice regression therapy view it as a tool for personal transformation and spiritual growth. Philosophers have long debated whether reincarnation could coexist with a materialist view of the universe. If consciousness is simply a byproduct of the brain, it seems unlikely that it could survive death and move on to another body. However, if consciousness is instead seen as fundamental and independent of the physical brain, reincarnation becomes a plausible hypothesis. This question lies at the heart of contemporary discussions in both philosophy and quantum physics. Theories such as panpsychism, which suggest that consciousness is a fundamental feature of all matter, provide an alternative view that aligns with reincarnation. Similarly, certain interpretations of quantum mechanics hint at the idea that consciousness could exist beyond the physical constraints of time and space, offering theoretical support to the notion that awareness might continue in some form after death. Reincarnation also raises profound ethical questions about justice, suffering, and destiny. If each person's life circumstances are the result of past actions, this suggests a level of cosmic justice at work. Yet, this idea can also lead to victim blaming, as some might interpret suffering as deserved or self-inflicted. Hindu and Buddhist teachings on karma and reincarnation emphasize that while past actions influence present circumstances, compassion and kindness are paramount in addressing others' suffering. Spiritual teachers in these traditions often remind practitioners that the purpose of karma is not punishment but education. Each life presents opportunities for growth, forgiveness, and the development of virtues. In this view, the law of karma encourages self-reflection rather than judgment of others, fostering a perspective of empathy and shared responsibility for the collective welfare. In recent decades, the idea of reincarnation has been incorporated into various Western New Age and spiritual movements, where it is often combined with concepts like soulmates, twin flames, and soul groups. In these frameworks, it is believed that souls travel together across multiple lifetimes, forming close bonds that play out in different forms, perhaps as friends, family, or romantic partners. This view of reincarnation suggests that relationships extend beyond a single lifetime and that souls may choose to incarnate together to support each other's growth. The idea of soul groups has gained popularity in New Age spirituality, with the belief that certain individuals enter our lives to teach us specific lessons or help us fulfill karmic debts. Many who subscribe to this belief find comfort in the notion that meaningful connections are eternal, and that even the challenges of relationships serve a higher purpose in the grand tapestry of existence. The scientific exploration of consciousness and the nature of the soul continues to evolve, with some researchers examining phenomena such as near-death experiences, NDEs, and out-of-body experiences, OBEs, to shed light on life after death. Many individuals who have had NDEs report encountering realms that seem more real and vivid than ordinary life, meeting deceased relatives, or feeling a profound sense of peace. While not direct evidence of reincarnation, these experiences suggest that consciousness may indeed persist beyond physical death. Additionally, the concept of a life review, often reported in NDEs, where individuals relive their actions and the impact they had on others, aligns with the karmic idea of moral accountability across lives. Some researchers propose that NDEs and OBEs indicate that consciousness is not bound by the physical body, a possibility that opens the door to theories of reincarnation and spiritual continuity. The implications of reincarnation touch on numerous fields, from ethics and psychology to science and religion. The belief that each life is an opportunity for the soul to progress spiritually encourages people to take responsibility for their actions, cultivate compassion, and strive toward inner peace. It invites us to reflect on our deepest motivations, to see life as a series of interconnected moments with a purpose beyond immediate gratification or material success. In this view, death is not an ending but a transformation, a doorway leading from one chapter to another in the soul's endless story. The teachings on reincarnation remind us that while physical forms are temporary, the essence of who we are persists, gathering wisdom, developing virtues, and moving ever closer to understanding the nature of existence itself. While reincarnation offers profound philosophical and ethical perspectives, it also poses questions about identity and the continuity of consciousness. If the soul or essence of a person moves from one life to another, what exactly carries over? Does personality, memory, or intellect endure, or does reincarnation involve a more subtle continuity? Many traditions suggest that it is the core consciousness or spiritual essence that persists, stripped of specific memories or identities but enriched by the experiences of each lifetime. The Hindu concept of Atman and the Buddhist idea of consciousness aggregates suggest that while the individual ego dissolves, the soul's deeper layers remain, carrying imprints of moral and spiritual lessons. This view implies that our true self is not tied to the personality or even the body, but is instead an essence that transcends the physical and the psychological. In practical terms, this understanding encourages detachment from rigid self-identities, allowing individuals to live more freely and openly, unencumbered by the idea that this life alone defines who they are. This notion of a transpersonal self is echoed in many mystical traditions worldwide. In Kabbalistic Judaism, for instance, the soul is seen as a fragment of divine energy, temporarily housed in a human body to fulfill specific missions or spiritual tasks. Each life provides unique experiences and challenges, helping to refine and elevate the soul. According to this view, each lifetime is a chapter in the soul's eternal journey, with opportunities to contribute to the collective good and deepen one's understanding of the divine. Similarly, Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, speaks of the soul's journey back to unity with God. Sufis emphasize the importance of purification, selflessness, and love as tools for transcending the individual ego and moving toward the divine. The soul's relationship with God is seen as a cycle of separation and reunion, a journey of becoming lost in the divine and rediscovering oneself as part of the whole. In modern psychology, certain theories align with the concept of reincarnation, albeit under different terms. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, introduced the idea of the collective unconscious, a realm of archetypes and memories that transcend individual experience. While Jung did not directly address reincarnation, his theories suggest that each person taps into a shared reservoir of knowledge and experience. Jung's archetypes, such as the hero, the mother, or the wise old man, resonate across cultures and time periods, hinting that certain patterns are embedded in the human psyche beyond individual lifetimes. Jungian psychology has also inspired approaches to past life regression, as practitioners attempt to help clients explore these deeper, possibly transpersonal layers of the self. Through understanding these recurring symbols and themes, individuals may gain insight into unresolved patterns or aspirations that feel timeless, providing a framework for personal growth that aligns with the principles of reincarnation. From an evolutionary perspective, reincarnation could be seen as a metaphor for the ongoing process of learning and adaptation across generations. Just as species evolve through gradual adaptation, reincarnation posits that the soul evolves through successive lifetimes, each one providing opportunities for growth and wisdom. This view suggests that each person inherits not only genetic traits but also karmic imprints, shaped by countless interactions with the world. In this way, the soul's journey mirrors the broader evolution of humanity, as each generation builds upon the progress and mistakes of the past. Some theorists have suggested that reincarnation could offer an explanation for the phenomenon of prodigies, individuals who display extraordinary talents or knowledge at a young age. While science generally attributes such abilities to genetics or unique environmental factors, the concept of reincarnation suggests that these talents may be the result of skills honed in previous lives. In recent years, the interest in reincarnation has also intersected with research on quantum physics, particularly theories related to consciousness and the nature of reality. Quantum mechanics challenges conventional views of time, space, and causality, suggesting that reality is far more interconnected than previously thought. Concepts like quantum entanglement and non-locality imply that particles and potentially consciousness may not be bound by physical limitations. Some researchers and theorists propose that consciousness could exist as a field independent of the brain, one that interacts with the body during life but persists after death. This perspective, although speculative, aligns with the idea of an enduring soul that can transcend physical death, moving from one life to another in ways that we are only beginning to understand. Moreover, the concept of reincarnation has given rise to numerous spiritual practices and personal disciplines aimed at understanding or preparing for the soul's next journey. In Eastern traditions, meditation is viewed as a powerful tool for gaining insight into one's past lives and karma, helping practitioners uncover the layers of conditioning that shape their current behavior. Techniques like vipassana meditation encourage individuals to observe the mind and body's processes without attachment, fostering clarity and insight into the patterns that govern life. For many, meditation is not simply a tool for mental relaxation but a way to transcend the boundaries of the individual ego and connect with the eternal self. Through these practices, individuals seek to purify their consciousness, aligning themselves with a state of awareness that is not bound by the limitations of a single lifetime. Western traditions, too, have developed techniques for exploring past lives, such as guided visualization and hypnotherapy. These practices allow individuals to access deep memories or impressions that may stem from previous incarnations. Past life regression, while controversial, has gained popularity as a therapeutic tool, helping individuals address unresolved issues or fears that conventional psychology cannot explain. For many, the experience of recalling a past life brings a sense of continuity and purpose, allowing them to view their current challenges as part of a larger spiritual journey. Some find comfort in understanding that life's hardships are not random but are instead meaningful steps in the soul's growth. This belief fosters a sense of resilience and acceptance, as individuals come to view their struggles as opportunities for spiritual refinement. In summary, reincarnation is a concept that touches every aspect of human existence, from ethics and personal responsibility to the nature of the self and the mystery of consciousness. It offers a lens through which individuals can explore life's purpose, viewing each experience as a stepping stone on the path toward wisdom and enlightenment. While each culture and tradition offers its unique interpretation of reincarnation, the underlying message remains consistent. Life is a journey of transformation, where the soul grows, learns, and evolves with each step. Through compassion, self-awareness, and spiritual practice, each person can contribute to this journey, leaving a legacy that transcends individual lifetimes and enriches the collective soul of humanity. Reincarnation invites us to live consciously, to consider the long-term effects of our actions, and to recognize that each moment offers an opportunity for growth and connection with the eternal.